This is how much carbon I got off the pistons in the last video. That all came off, that came out of my shop vac. It's a lot of carbon. This is video number 8. Video 7, you saw me put those 4 valve cages in. I put all the rest of them in. I'm going to put the engine back together by... First I'm going to take out all the lifters, because those are roller lifters. I'm going to take them out and make sure the rollers are working, make sure there's no rust or anything under there. Once I get them, I'll put them back in. And I'll put the push rods in, and when the rocker arms back on, that should be real quick. But I'm not going to try and start the engine now because the gas tank is still full of crud. I got to take the gas tank out, and since I'm going to be back there, I'll do the clutch. The next job to do is the clutch. The clutch is currently frozen in the engaged position, probably with rust and mouse nests and years of debris, spider webs, cocoons from caterpillars. I'm going to clean out the clutch, get that thing all working nice, and reface all the plates. That's this video. Here's what the roller lifter looks like. It's a wheel about 1 inch across. Actually, I measured 15/16 of an inch. Nice. It goes in there, and when that raises the lifter. There's a bore. This actually is the bore. That's the lifter there. Roller. I'm going to check about 4 or 5 of them. If they all look as good as this, I'm not going to bother cleaning out all 12 of them. They look fine. It's been sitting in oil. There's no trace of moisture in there. No reason why it should rust. It looks like it's, you know, brand new. Perfect. Alright, I took these 2 lifters out. They both look fine. They all look fine from the bottom when I had the oil pump out, with oil pan off. And I oiled them from the bottom so they're nice and lubricated. And they look perfectly fine. So I'm just going to put them back and not worry about these roller lifters. You put that lifter back in. You put this retainer thing. These are the dust covers over the lifter. Okay, those are on. I'm just going to tighten these down later. They tighten with a wrench. And you got the one last nut and spring nut to hold the keeper down. The keeper or a retainer or whatever it's called. Okay, all the push rods are in. If you're wondering why I'm not taking everything out and cleaning it within an inch of its life, scouring it with Brillo and crushed walnut shells, media blasting, and then painting them, well, that's a good way to make things rust. This is never going to rust. It's covered with black oxide, the same thing gunsmithers do to guns. And on top of that is tar, which is just as good of a rust proof as any kind of paint. Better by far, actually. There's no rust on this. It's 100 years old. If I took this and cleaned it all, they start rusting. You know, why would you want to put paint? These are never supposed to be painted. They never were painted. Oh, this one's a little bit bent. Oh, look at that. Anyway, same thing applies to the rocker arms. Here's the rocker arm. I'm going to put that right on there. It fits right here like this. Look at this. Yeah, it's covered with tar. Look at that. That's black oxide. For me to clean that off down to the bare metal would be like taking a cast iron skillet that's seasoned and scraping it on down to the bare metal and trying to cook eggs with it. It's going to rust. This is what you want in the metal. This makes it rust proof. I'll clean that off the day gunsmiths start painting guns. And now all the rocker arms are in place. Okay, now that I got the engine back together again, I adjusted these 2 push rods so there's a valve clearance of about 20 thousandths of an inch. And now I didn't adjust the rest of them. Let me just check to see if there's any kind of compression. Got the compression tester hooked right up to it. Wow, that's hard too. Wow. Probably not going to get an accurate reading. When I got to the compressed part, it was really hard to turn. I got it up to 55. Okay, cylinder number 2. I adjusted the valve lash same way. And when both valves are closed, it's 20,000th of an inch. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, first one was 55. This one is, oh, you be the judge. 49.